If you're looking to start a smart home in the Apple ecosystem using HomeKit, then this is the video for you. In this video today, we're going to be going over the steps for starting a HomeKit smart home in 2021. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Steve from the YouTube channel Steve Does, and I want to thank you for joining me here at reviews.org. Now, I have years of experience with smart homes. I've been an Alexa user for years now, probably a Google smart home user for about a year and a half. And just recently, I have dove into Apple's HomeKit. Now, if you saw our video last week, I picked up my first HomePod Mini to start testing out. And I gotta say, I've been very impressed with it. Now, not because of the amount of devices that are compatible with HomeKit, because honestly, there aren't really that many compared to the other big ones. I read in an article that there were about 450 devices that work with Apple's HomeKit, where for the Amazon Alexa smart home environment, there are actually 85,000 devices. And in this case, fewer devices is actually a good thing because Apple is so adamant about your privacy, which we'll be talking about a little later. Now in this video, I'm going to be going over what HomeKit is, what devices you need to get started with. We'll actually even go through the app, show you how to get started with setting up some of those devices. We'll go through setting up scenes and setting up automations. Now, before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos like this one. With that said, let's get started. So what is HomeKit? Well, HomeKit is a software framework created by Apple that allows you to configure, communicate, and control your smart home devices in one app. And that app is the Home app. In addition to that, you can use voice commands to Siri to control those devices and also run scenes and automations. So whether you're on your iPhone, your iPad, your MacBook, or your iMac, you are going to have full control of your smart home from those devices. Now, one of the biggest benefits of HomeKit is that you're going to be able to control everything within that Home app. You don't need to jump from one app to another app to another app to control your lights, your thermostats, your cameras. It's all going to be centralized into that one app. And as long as the devices say work with HomeKit, then you're good to go. Another cool thing that you can do in the Home app is you can control multiple homes and invite other people to have control of your home also. So whether it's family and friends that you want to control your home, or maybe you have a vacation house that you want to give access to when somebody's renting it out, you can do all of that through the Home app. Now, one of the biggest draws to Apple HomeKit is privacy. Apple takes your privacy very seriously, and they do so by not having any of your devices connect to the cloud. So instead of connecting to the cloud, they're actually all going to connect to the hub in your house. And with that, provide end-to-end encryption for each of your devices. So with that encryption, only you have access to your devices. Apple can't view your cameras, they can't see the status of any of the devices in your house. That is all locally saved onto your hub for your control. Okay, speaking of hubs, to be able to control your devices from anywhere in the world, you're going to need a HomeKit hub in your house. Now, a hub can be the HomePod or the HomePod Mini. You can also use an Apple TV or an iPad if you keep that at home. Now, as far as the Apple TV and the iPad go, you will probably have to go into the settings to activate it as a hub. So why do you actually need a hub? Well, remember we said HomeKit uses end-to-end encryption. So to locally control all of that encryption, you need the hub to be able to communicate to all of your devices and store all of that information locally on a device. So because of that, you're going to need a hub to be a center point to your smart home. This is going to allow you and your friends and family to be able to control your smart home without you walking away with your phone and taking that control with you. Okay, now let's take a look at the Home app. If you're like me and you got your first accessory, this is where you're going to start. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my iPhone. And there are going to be a couple ways that we can access the Home app. So if we see on my screen here, up in the top left corner, we see the second one down says home. So that's going to be the home app. You can put it on your screen. But if you want to quickly access it from the control center, you're going to have to set that up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to scroll down to where just under general, it says control center. And then if you look at the second toggle down, show home controls. So I'm going to tap on that to show home controls. And then I'm also going to scroll down and look for home. Click on the plus sign next to that. It's going to add it to the include controls. And then I can go ahead and back out of here. Now, what that did is that for my iPhone 12, if I grab the top right corner of my screen and drag down, it's going to bring up my control center. So you see right here, it says home favorites right in the center. And then I've got my Office HomePod. So those are the controls that it brought up. And if I scroll all the way down to the bottom, I can now see that I've also got the home button down there. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap on that. It's gonna show the favorites that I have for my home. And then if I tap on the home icon again, it's actually going to bring up the home app for me. So at the very bottom, in the bottom left-hand corner, I'm gonna click on home, and this is probably what you're gonna see. Right now, I only have my HomePod mini in there. And I did that intentionally. I actually went through and I removed everything because I wanted to show you guys what a clean looking HomeKit is going to look like so we can set some things up from scratch. Now, something that I would recommend doing first is setting up different rooms in your house. So in the very bottom tab, it says rooms. I'm gonna go ahead and click on this. We've got master bedroom. Up in the top left corner is the little house icon. I'm gonna go ahead and click on that house icon. I'm gonna click on room settings. And then at the very top, in the top left corner, you see the arrow with the rooms. I'm gonna click on that, and that is going to bring up the different rooms. So I'm gonna add a few more rooms into here. I'm gonna add the living room. Okay, so we've got those listed in there. So once I've gone through and I've added the different rooms that I have on my house where I'm gonna have a smart device, I can go ahead and click on done. And then when I click on the home up in that corner again, it's gonna give me all of the rooms listed. Another thing that I can do is I can either swipe left or right to just quickly go through the different rooms also. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and set up our first device in HomeKit. Up in the top right corner, I'm gonna go ahead and click on the plus sign. We're gonna click on add accessory, and it's going to ask me to scan the setup code. So what we're gonna do is I'm actually going to use the Philips Hue. We've got that box right here, and inside of the box is where I have my code. So I'm gonna go ahead and scan that right now. All right, now that that has been scanned, it popped up here. I'm gonna go ahead and say to select my Philips Hue bridge. So right now it is connecting to the bridge. The bridge is located in the office, so that looks good. Philips Hue, I'm gonna rename this because I wanna know what it is. We're gonna say Philips Hue bridge, so that way I specifically know which I'm connecting to, and the Philips Hue bridge has been added to my HomeKit. So I'm gonna go ahead and click continue, and it found 5 devices. So if you see it on there, it says 1 of 5 lights connected. Now this is because I have already connected my 5 lights to the Hue back when I was using the Philips Hue app and my Amazon Alexa smart home. So all of my lights are already connected to the bridge. So by connecting to the bridge, it now brought all of those lights into the HomeKit app for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on continue, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting these different lights in different rooms. Okay, now look how many devices I now have in the Home app right here. So we've got our master Hue dimmer switch. So it also found the accessories that I have for Hue, which is going to be their on-off dimmer switch and then also their motion sensor. Okay, now the next thing that I want to do is I actually want to add a camera system into here. Now, Eufy cameras are a great camera choice for you to pick up for your home, and that HomeKit integration actually came after the device was added. So I've already added those devices into their app. So I'm gonna load up the Eufy app right here, and I've set up a base station that I've called Homebase HomeKit, because I know this one's going to be connecting to HomeKit. So I'm gonna click onto the settings for this one. I'm gonna say HomeKit setup right here. I'm gonna say HomeKit authentication. So we're gonna go ahead and authenticate and add the accessories. We're gonna add the backyard one, that looks good. So it is adding the authentication right now to my HomeKit. Add a bridge, click continue. Add to home, that looks good. This one's gonna be located in the office right next to me. So we've got the Eufy Home Base 2 connected to HomeBridge. That looks good. And then it also found one camera. So I'm going to say yes. That camera is in the backyard. So let's go ahead and add a new room. This room is going to be called Backyard. Continue. And this is going to be the Eufy Cam 2C Pro. So the Eufy Cam 2C Pro. Go ahead and click continue on that. Choose when this camera streams and records. We're going to say all the time. That looks good, and done. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. We're going to go back to the Home app, and if I scroll down to the bottom, there is now my camera set up. So I can go ahead and tap on that to get a live view. In the bottom right-hand corner, I can tap on different accessories nearby, which I don't have any right now. You got the live view. If I tap again, we can bring up the different options right here. We can see battery level, if it's charging, we can set up recording options, face recognition, all of that through the settings of this camera right here. Okay, now that we have got a few accessories added to our HomeKit, let's go ahead and set up some scenes and automations. All right, there are two ways that we can add scenes in here. So clicking on the plus sign up in the top corner, we can add a scene there. Or we see scenes right here underneath home where it has my thermostat and stuff like that. I'm gonna go ahead and click at add scene right here. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna say, let's go ahead and create a custom scene. And I'm gonna say a good morning scene. All right, so we've named it good morning. I'm gonna go ahead and add accessories. So what I want to happen in the good morning scene is I want both of the master bedroom lights to turn on, and I want my HomePod to start playing some music. So I'm gonna click on done, and I'm gonna go ahead and tap on both of the lights right here. So we're gonna say we want them to turn on, and then we've got my HomePod. We're gonna want it to say to play music. So as far as media, I'm gonna click on play media. We're gonna go down to choose audio. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on listen now. I'm gonna go ahead and just select one of these right here. We're gonna go back to new scene. That all looks good. And then we go ahead and click on done. Okay, so now we've got our morning scene set up right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on morning. We saw that both lights turned on to 30% and the HomePod started playing music right over there. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn these guys off. But that is how you can set up different scenes. Now, in addition to scenes, you can set up automations also. So what I'm gonna do is down at the very bottom corner, I'm gonna click on automations, create a new automation. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set up that, let's say when people leave the house. So your location is determined by your iPhone. So I'm gonna say location is home, time is any. I'm gonna go ahead and click on next. And it says when you leave the house. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that all the lights, and let's see, my Ecobee. So I'm gonna click on here. We're gonna say when you leave the house, turn off all the lights in the house that I have set up to HomeKit. So all of those will get turned off, and that my thermostat is going to get turned off when I leave the house. So go ahead and click on done, and we've got our first automation set up. But there are a ton of different scenes and automations that you can set up in here. And if you guys want to know more about that, let us know in the comments below and we can make a video dedicated just to that. Well, we have covered a lot in today's video, from what HomeKit is and how to set it up to what is all involved with using the Home app. If you want to know anything more about the Apple ecosystem and HomeKit, check out the link below to reviews.org. If you guys want to see more from me, check out my YouTube channel, Steve Does, where I do a lot of cool tech reviews. If this video is helpful, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. As always, I want to thank you for joining me here at reviews.org, and I'll see you in the next video.